And in the top right, it's the purple Terran from Echo Esports, down one in the series. This is Azure.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Lower Light Crest, playing for Team Root Gaming, we have Kelazhur. And if you've got any predictions, feel free to shout them out in chat. Let us know who you think is going to win this series. And again, while we get started in this game, I'd just like to give a shout out to our man Eddie, who hosts these leagues and put the OSC together. And this tournament, if you guys aren't aware, is the culmination of all of 2015 of StarCraft throughout Oceania, Australia, and Southeast Asia, but also outside. These players like Kelazhur, he comes from Brazil, but he's still got that avenue to qualify for a tournament like this, and they gave out over $44,000 in prize money in 2015, and they're gunning to go even bigger this year. They're gunning to go for $100,000 in partnered tournaments this year, which is a fantastic initiative.
That's it, guys. Actually, I'm just going to quickly put into chat, if you would like the replays from this tournament, if you want to support OSC throughout the year, you can subscribe, you can donate, and that will give you access to those replays and a chance to win coaching as well. So it's a really great way to get involved in your scene. And also, if you're a player, you can come and join these tournaments. It's points that are accumulated across a bunch of weekly cups and monthly cups, you know, things like Masters Cup and some of the smaller tournaments that run quite regularly throughout the year. So get involved, guys. It's a lot of fun.
And there's even fantastic initiatives like for Masters Cup, you can win, I think it's $10 just for signing up to the tournament and rocking up on the day. You could bomb out dead last and there's still a giveaway and they're still going to give you $10 for your time. So things like that really encourage participation, and I think it's a great initiative. It'd be fantastic to expand that even more, so we'll see what happens this year. I'm really excited for what 2016 is going to do for StarCraft now that we've got Legacy of the Void.
That's it, man. It's a great time to be alive in StarCraft, I'll tell you that much. I'm so excited. Don't think I've ever been this pumped to see where the StarCraft and our local scene as well is going for 2016.
And I'm super pumped to be casting this game with you here, Zeph, and both players have been doing exactly the same build, going for a gas first. This is a really common safe opening on Lower Light Crest. They get 2 or 3 Reapers, 2 or 3 Hellions, and just use them to get map control, do some pressure, and Azure actually getting the better end of that trade, getting the Reaper without loss, so Kelazhur's in the back foot, and he needs to use this high ground to his advantage and use that to try and defend against the superior numbers of Azure right here.
His next Reaper's out, actually about to time out just in time, and the Hellion popping out as well. Oh, Azure needs to be careful. He's going to lose both of his Reapers.
Oh no, and he might even end up losing this Hellion as well if he's not careful. It's like Jaws. I mean, they move at exactly the same time, but if Azure deviates from his course even just a little bit or even moves up the ramp, he could lose that Hellion. And he does lose it, but he gets the Hellion of Kelazhur in response to a nice little move there. And Azure going for the Cloak Banshees, Kelazhur going for the Liberators and adding on the turrets, but he does have the Reapers here. It's going to be quite difficult for Azure to hold this just with the Hellions.
Oh man, and he gets a full scout up while he's in here as well, so he sees everything that Azure is doing, even picks up a worker kill for his troubles here. But Azure does manage to keep that Hellion alive, so that's something at the very least. Getting his supply teeth at the front though, tickled down a bit by these Reapers and Hellion.
And remember, like Azure, he's the kind of player that's been getting supply block recently. If that depot burns down, or even if you get 1 or 2 depots with this opening, it's incredibly difficult to try and maintain your unit count. And look, he can't even produce that second Banshee right now, and he doesn't have Cloak done. The Liberator is actually going to work on that, but he does need to back away and repair the Banshee. But fantastic opening so far for Kelazhur.
Yeah, just coming out on those small skirmishes on top each time, and it's really adding up. Now we have the Liberation Zone on this mineral line. Azure isn't pulling away just yet. Okay, just in the nick of time, does get out of there. Unfortunately, cannot continue building that supply depot that he gets stuck up the back either.
So annoying.
Yeah, hopefully he can push.
Oh no!
Back in a moment.
There was the Banshee in the front, and it could have killed probably 2 Hellions. It didn't get anything. Oh, he's actually able to get the Liberator. He's 100% going to kill that with the Cyclone.
Nice.
Great pickup there. And he's got the Raven. The Raven's not particularly useful because there's no Banshees, but if he goes for a tank, Medivac, Marine push later on, the Raven and the new auto turret is phenomenal at allowing you to crush defensive lines. So we'll see if that comes into play later on. Initially, though, he's going to be using this for harassment, trying to get an auto turret down into the middle line of Kelazhur and see what he can accomplish.
Yeah, hopefully he can grab a couple of worker kills, because he is slightly behind on that worker count. 29 SCVs to 33 of Kelazhur, who's also going to have the faster command center coming up on the natural base here. So that lead will extend for Kelazhur a little bit more. So his macro is just slightly more refined than Azure's is. Missile turret unfortunately does go down, but does, you know, he gets one SCV out of it. For energy, that's not too bad.
He could have focus fired it a little bit more and gotten 3 or 4 SCVs. So I noticed someone in chat asking what's new about it. So the auto turret now lasts only sort of 10 seconds or so, but it does twice the damage. So it's really good in short bursts, but it's not very good in longer drawn out scenarios. And that was something that Blizzard wanted to change about the Raven, because before it was just used to make these long drawn out games. And here we go, here's the turrets being thrown down for Kelazhur as well. He's going to be able to get 3, 4 SCVs so far, maybe a 5th one as well goes down.
Wow.
So a great little trade there from Kelazhur, and in the front, I believe it was just a Hellion that died, or maybe the Banshee from Azure actually went down there. Looking on the units tab, he still has 1 alive.
Yep, here it comes. He's grabbing the last couple of units to join this force. Needs to be a bit careful here. He does not have a big enough force to take this on from Kelazhur. He's gonna actually go into it now, though. With the Cyclone and Banshee, it looks like he will be able to actually take out all the buffer for these siege tanks, so not looking too bad. Can he get a favorable engagement here? This is very scrappy on small amounts of units.
Jeez. He gets the Raven, and another auto turret goes down, and he's going to use that really nicely to kill a lot of the units from Kelazhur, who has to scan to kill that, and the Cyclone. He needs to keep this Cyclone alive. Otherwise, there's going to be no chance. Oh my god, he loses the Cyclone!
Oh.
That's so horrible for him. He really needed that to be able to kill the Medivac or the Viking. But now Kelazhur is going to be able to control the skies, get that Medivac loading up with the tank, leapfrogging this forward, and it's going to be quite difficult for Azure to break this, considering how short the rush distances are. There's actually a tank there sieged up, and that's not going to be doing anything, so he wants to reposition that, but these rush distances are so short, it's going to be tough for Azure here.
Absolutely. He might need to just wait for... Oh, actually, that was Kelazhur. I was thinking Kelazhur's stim was Azure's, and once that stim finishes for Kelazhur, it's going to be even more difficult for Azure to be actually able to take this out, because he's got that little ledge available to him as well. If he notices that second siege tank, things will get even more sticky for him. He has a clump of SCVs not mining as well, just repairing that command center.
He's going to lose that tank, I think. Kelazhur are excellent control there, but some of these Marines are sectioned out. They will be able to do quite a bit of damage in response. The Medivac healing was what kept them alive. My English is failing me. This game is so hype. But Kelazhur is still 20 supply up. He's got an extra 12 workers. He's got more gas. So especially going into the mid game, he's going to have better upgrades, the ability to make even more tanks, more Medivacs, and that's going to allow him to get even further ahead. He does need to be careful, doesn't want to lose any of these tanks.
Oh, he's just being so annoying to Azure right now, dropping in all kinds of positions, and Azure just doesn't have enough stuff to cover himself completely. He's going to reposition now, head towards the low ground a little bit so that Kelazhur at the very least can't sit right beneath that. But these 2 siege tanks up towards the north, he just can't deal with them yet. I mean, there's no medevacs out for Azure. He can't afford to just run in there.
And I noticed the mistake that Azure made earlier. He actually went to make Stim, but he didn't make it. And Stim was only just started just then, Zav, so when you're at 9 minutes 20 into the game and Stim is not going to be done until 11